You check your results, your heart starts racing, and the very first thought that pops into your head is, what percentage did I get? You aren't asking yourself what you actually learned. You aren't asking if you improved from the last time you sat down to study. You're just looking at the numbers. When your focus is pinned to that percentage, you stop looking at the material and start looking at a scoreboard, turning a journey of personal development into a static record of wins and losses. Treating your education like a scoreboard doesn't reflect your actual capability. It creates a vacuum where you work for the metric rather than the knowledge, leaving you in a cycle of constant exhaustion and emptiness. Two students in the exact same class. One memorizes for grades, hitting 95%. The other focuses on understanding, achieving 75%. 3 years later, the first student forgets everything, dropping near zero. The second student's foundational understanding compounds, curving exponentially upward. Your brain is efficient. It discards information that feels disconnected or irrelevant. This cycle, where you cram, write, and immediately forget, is known as shallow learning. The immediate fix is to use the teaching method. Instead of asking, how much material do I have left to read? Ask yourself, can I explain this concept to someone else? If you can teach it, you actually understand it. Shifting your focus away from the grade and toward your ability to explain the material actually accelerates your academic improvement because it forces you to engage with the logic of the subject. You sit down at your desk, you open your textbook. 10 minutes later, you're scrolling. Your brain gets bored because studying purely for external grades removes your natural curiosity. It replaces excitement with a sense of pressure, and that pressure kills your ability to focus. To fix this, you need a system called active focus. Set a timer for 25 minutes, pick a topic, and treat it like a game. Don't tell yourself, I have to finish this chapter. Ask yourself, can I figure out how this works before the timer goes off? Distraction is often the result of low stakes. Introducing a tight time constraint wakes your brain up and trains it to maintain a sharp, active focus on the task. This brings up another major roadblock. You often feel a chronic, heavy exhaustion, even on days when you didn't do much heavy studying. This state is known as academic burnout. Burnout happens when an internal monologue of, I need better grades, and I'm not doing enough, loops endlessly in the background. That continuous internal pressure acts as an invisible drain on your cognitive energy. You can break this cycle with a quick reset habit. Every single night, ask yourself exactly one question. What did I learn today? Ignore the volume of work. Ignore how perfectly you performed. Just identify what you genuinely understood. When you shift your daily metric from the amount of work you completed to the actual concepts you grasped, you begin to rebuild your confidence. You stop measuring your worth by the clock and start measuring it by your growth. To put this all together, abandon complex, stressful study routines. Instead, use a simple 3-phase daily structure to acquire real skills. Phase 1 is the morning. Your cognitive energy is fresh, so dedicate this time exclusively to deep learning and conquering the most difficult concepts. Phase 2 is the afternoon. You transition into active practice by solving problems. This is where you explicitly allow yourself to make mistakes, because those errors show you exactly where to improve. Phase 3 is the evening. You perform a rapid, low-stakes review to quickly go over what you studied and cement the day's intake into your memory. Small, daily, imperfect progress builds a foundation that a single perfect performance never can. A singular test score might act as a temporary gatekeeper, but foundational understanding is the currency that dictates real-world success. Stop fighting for the scoreboard and start building yourself.